Hey everybody, and welcome to the third episode of Flesh and Blood Stories. I am your host, Stephen Dillard Carroll, and this episode I am entitling, If You Can't Love Yourself in a Public Library, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else in a public library? There's lots to cover, and I have lots and lots of notes, so let's just jump right on into it. On March 13th, 2013, Tyree S. Carter was arrested in Racine, Wisconsin for lewd and lascivious behavior and disorderly conduct after he was reportedly caught openly masturbating in a public library. I'm sorry. That's just funny. I'm sorry, whatever. That shit is funny. But wait, there is more to this story. The employee who reported the behavior said Carter was on the second floor and was, and I quote, standing in the open, not trying to conceal the act. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may hate on this next comment I'm about to make, and please do. Hate as much as you want in the comment section below, but personally, I'm proud of him. Not for masturbating in a public library, although to be truthful, who of us hasn't masturbated in a public library? But for doing it out in the open. I've heard it said time and time again, if you can't do it on Main Street, it's probably not worth doing it at all. So I applaud Mr. Carter for having the balls, literally, to say, you know what, I'm gonna get mine. I can't be bothered to go to the bathroom because I might lose my place in this bomb-ass book, so fuck it. I'm gonna get mine right here, right now, out in the open. Fuck it. I'm gonna get mine. Good for him. There is more to this story, ladies and gentlemen. When police arrived, Carter was seated at a table reading a book. Ladies and gentlemen, in all seriousness, I need to find this book. I need to find this book because clearly this book was the bomb. For him to be reading this book and to stop and get his and then go back to reading the book. Ladies and gentlemen, that book is the shit, and I need that book in my collection. There's more. Yes, there is more to this story. When police asked him if he knew why they were called, he said he had no idea. When the officer explained, Carter allegedly apologized and said it was his first time doing it in public. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the point in this flesh and blood story where I lose all kinds of respect for Mr. Carter. Had it been me, had I been in that situation, I would have said, have you read this book? No, seriously, have you read it? Now, I know it says fun with Dick and Jane, but it's not a children's book. Mrs. Carter, you should have owned that orgasm, because if I were you, I certainly would have. The other part I find interesting about that portion of the story is not that he was jacking in public. Again, who among us hasn't? But that he chose as his first foray into public masturbation a public library. Now, of all the places in all the world he could have chosen, he said, you know what? I heard that Fun with Dick and Jane, the college years book, is the shit. So let me just pop on down to the Racine Library and pop one off to this book. Ladies and gentlemen, there's more to this story. Yes, there is more. Carter, who had been staying at the Homeless Assistance Leadership Organization, it's always the homeless, isn't it, was trotted off to jail. The following day, his bond was set at $1,000, and the judge banned him from all the libraries on the face of the earth. And that is a quote, ladies and gentlemen. The judge banned him from all the libraries on the face of the earth. Now, that's the part of the story that confuses me. Is his mugshot going to be plastered on every library from Canada to Cucamonga? Are librarians going to be on high alert from Maine to Mogadishu? Will libraries go on lockdown if he comes, literally, within 50 feet of their entrance? How are they going to enforce this? Seriously, there's got to be a library somewhere that doesn't know who this man is. And what about bookstores? Adult bookstores specifically, where this kind of behavior is not only accepted, but actually encouraged. Is he not allowed in bookstores? Is he not allowed to masturbate along with the other unwashed masses that go to adult bookstores to get their jack on? Seriously. I think this ruling is a little bit overreaching, but let's go ahead and finish off this story. In related news, Philadelphia celebrates National Masturbation Month in the month of May with all sorts of fundraisers, parties, and games that define happiness with yourself and the people around you in the city of brotherly love, which sadly means for Tyree Carter of Racine, Wisconsin, he was just a victim of not only geography, but of really bad timing. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Flesh and Blood Stories. Please be sure to comment down below. Please be sure to subscribe so that you do not miss any of the episodes that are coming up on Flesh and Blood Stories. I am your host, Stephen Dillard Carroll, and I will see you on the next episode of Flesh and Blood Stories. Bye.